Hey guys, we're here again with Lewis and his counter-fairy deck profile. For some reason this is still League in a Scrub League, but it's been topping some events sometimes. But yes, you made your own Scrub League build because some certain cards like lost the Pendulum or Ban, which is good in this deck. So you just changed it a little bit.
Generally change the monster lineup to suit the meta a bit more.
Yep. So how's it working out though in the Scrub League?
It's currently not lost a game.
Yeah, you lost one game.
No, I've not lost the
yeah, okay, you mean a match? Alright. So you only lost one match at a game?
Yes. No, I've lost one game against Bavin, one game against Danny.
So 2 games. Ow. Yeah.
But has not lost a match.
So it's really good then?
It's a very dice rolly deck.
Yeah.
If it goes second and doesn't get the right cards, you can easily just punish it. But other than that, if it goes first, opens well,
you win.
Pretty much nothing in Scrub League right now can deal with it.
Yeah.
Except Blue Ice, because Blue Ice.
It's because they hate back row. Alright, so
here's back row, and now it's gone.
Yes, it's just because of Spirit and Twin Twisters, mate. It's too strong.
Twin Twister. Resilience thanks to Azure Eyes. Generally the worst possible matchup for this deck right now.
Alright. So both strong decks though, to be honest. Yes. Both bars against each other. So yeah, you ready to do the deck profile?
Yeah, let's get into it. Okay.
Main guy.
The absolute linchpin of the deck. Guiding Ariadne. This is the only reason the deck works.
Yes.
Yep, your count traps have no life point and no discard cost while this is in your pendulum zone. And if it's destroyed, just like Pantheism, reveal 3, this time count traps, and your opponent picks 1.
Yep.
Very good effect. The fact that it's a pendulum monster means you can recur it through the game as well, so just very resilient, gives the deck a lot of power. Pretty much every ideal turn 1 involves setting this up. Also, level 4, light, decent stats. Good for rank 4 players.
17 attack.
Next and most important card. So we have Bountiful Artemis. Let's put it on one side. Pretty much this is how you get ahead in the game. Ariadne is there to let you basically play with more resources than your opponent by getting rid of the costs that are associated with these counter traps. And this is whenever you resolve a counter trap, or your opponent does, you draw 1 card. Doesn't start a chain, just a continuous effect that's always in play. Okay stats. 1/6 is a little weak on the attack front, but most of the time it's just going to sit there and your counter trap's going to deal with that.
Hey, your opponent can't kill it, it's so much that back row.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a main advantage engine. 2 Banish for the Radiance.
Yeah.
Graveyard decks are very popular in Scrub League. So are decks that
Snatch deal out there.
also pendulums.
Yeah.
Just generally good at dealing with a lot of decks in Scrub League. It's little on small side, 0 defense. It is a level 3, which is unfortunate, but that's fine. It does what it needs to do, and it's fairly sizable for its effect. A lot of decks just can't play with this on the board.
That's true.
So
Banish all cards.
unfortunately, it does banish our cards, so it means that when they destroy Ariadne, we're not getting it back.
But you still get the effect though.
we still get the effect.
So if you're playing against this, when you play mermails, you can't activate your stuff.
Yes. Cradles don't have much play while this is on board.
Yeah. All the water decks gets ruined, mate. Including ice barriers.
Including ice barriers, yes.
Yeah.
I've noticed the trend. Water doesn't like Cosmos style effects.
Yes.
Yeah, it's generally good. One of our 2 floodgate monsters for us. The other one being Fossil Dinar.
Yep.
Vanities on legs. Very easy to protect in this deck.
Alright.
When your opponent's limited to 1 normal summon at a time, this can just shut down too many decks. Our counter traps pretty much protect it from most things. Unfortunately, battle's still a problem, but we do have traps to get around that, and we do play our quips to just get them out of battle range. 2 Archfiend Eccentric. Our only high scale in the deck, and it's our alternative to MST. It has additional synergies in this deck, being a Demise deck. Because we play Demise, sometimes we'll draw too many, but this just goes in our pendulum zone and just gives us more slots to play with.
That's true.
On the upside, for example, if your opponent's, it doesn't happen, but say your opponent has Jinta, normal summon it, pop it.
Exile Force, mate.
The Exiled Force effect does come up on occasion.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, once we've used its effect, we can't get it back. We only play a 3 and 7 scale, but
So you can't pendulum it back.
can't pendulum it back.
So one-off pretty much, like one-off use.
One-off use, but it's essentially played as an MST that is occasionally a 7 scale, but it's very rare.
Okay. Is that all the monsters?
That is all the monsters for this deck.
Okay. Onto the spells.
On to spells. 2 Necro Valley.
Boo.
Floodgates. Yay, Floodgates. Everyone likes Floodgates.
Yeah.
Stops graveyard interactions. Gets around a lot of things in Scrub League. Just another thing that we like to have on the board. It takes up the field spell zone, so it's one of those things that we can draw and not have to worry about space. So
Yeah.
we don't really care for much other than the graveyard effect, but it does do some work in Scrub League. Not as much as it would against the meta, but we just want as many things as we can do to put on the field and slow them down, because we're still limited to 5 spell and trap card zones, so we can only have a certain amount of counter traps set, and this is just another deterrent to slow people down, along with Banish and Fossil Dino. 3-part duality. Card selection. Helps us dig us to Ariadne, dig us to Demise. Just get the things we need whenever we need it, pretty much.
So it's maxed out, yeah.
Maxed out, always. If you're ever playing a Demise deck,
Yeah.
I pretty much think you should always be playing 3 of this, just to optimise your chances of getting into the combat. There's the pieces you need. 3 Demise. Yay. This card is done. Of course I'm going to continue to play it.
Disagreeing.
In this deck, this pretty much has absolutely 0 downside. We are a 1 summon deck anyway, so special summon effect, pretty relevant. There has been 1 or 2 occasions where I've wanted to pendulum back Ariadne, but since Luster is banned in Scrub League, that pretty much never comes up anymore. But still, draw 3, set 3 counter traps, carry on about your business. Just plus, and just get ahead in resources.
Yep. Gets the 500 base from
1 Mirror Shield.
Yo.
This plus certain monsters equals game for a lot of decks. Put it on Fossil Dino. Some decks can't play. Put it on Banisher. Some decks can't play. Just make sure that the monsters we stick on the field are just going to stay there, and they're going to provide nice, consistent value. Also, pretty much the best form of protection for Bountiful, because Bountiful generates advantage, but it doesn't have any protection itself. It doesn't slow the opponent down. Yeah, it's only 1/6, and it's just a nice thing. Also, it does get over a lot of can't destroy by card effect problems.
Ultimate Falcon.
This is currently one of our 2 outs for Ultimate Falcon.
Cool.
Also recycles itself, which is nice. Mage Power. This is our way to close out the game. We regularly have 5 spell and trap cards, and Ariadne in the scale in the Necro Valley, so this card generally gives around about 3,500 attack and defense.
Ultimate Falcon.
Pretty much this gets over. On occasion, this has got over Lightning.
Oh shit.
You have your 5 back row, you have your Ariadne, you have your thingy. Cool. 7 spells and traps, plus 3,500. Even Bountiful gets
Over 5k attack.
puts Bountiful on 5/1. Even kills Armades.
Yeah.
Even lets Banishing get over Armades.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't stop Fossil Dino getting over Armades. Fossil Dino can't get over Armades unless we have all the zones filled with an eccentric.
You mean Utopia Lightning, not Armadians?
Yes, so with Lightning. Very good card. Only play 1 because it's not a combo piece, but we do need a way to close out the game eventually. Gold Sock.
What the hell? Why are you playing this?
We play Gold Sock because just due to the design of the deck, it's very slow, and a lot of the time this card will appear in the mid game, and it's just there just to get whatever you need to finish the game in due time. You generally don't have a problem stalling, so you are generally always going to get the card that you banish. So if your opponent's got, unfortunately, this deck does suffer against things that can't be destroyed by battle, so a lot of the time it searches for Raigeki, and then otherwise it searches for Mage Power and Mirror Shield, depending on the game state. But yeah, it takes up 1 slot rather than us playing multiple copies of Mage Power and Mirror Shield. So it's just extra consistency. It is slow, but it's the best we've got right now in this deck. Raigeki.
Yes.
Play it.
Yep.
Scrub League. Gets rid of things. That's all we need.
Okay, that's all the spells, right?
That is every spell.
Okay.
3 Quaking Mirror Force. We want to keep a monster on board, and generally speaking, this is the best one for the deck because since they can't go face up, they're not going to come. We don't have tribute summoning is not really a thing in Scrub League, so it's not like Monarchs who can get around it by just tributing over. So just deals with problems, slows them down, clogs their field, gives us enough time to just find our outs, and then count. Pretty much, just sit there until you get Raigeki and go for game.
That's what I'm saying.
Also, a lot of monsters in Scrub League have low defense in the minute, so
yeah,
good choice. Okay, free strike.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, free strike.
Yeah.
Play it.
Obviously.
It's a counter trap deck. Draw cards, negate things, pay nothing.
Free negation.
Free negate. Yay, Ariadne. If it wasn't strong enough, Ariadne makes it worse.
Yeah.
3 Ultimate Providence.
Okay, this card negates anything, right?
This card is essentially Solemn Judgment when you have Ariadne. So, well, what it does is, when an opponent activates a spell, trap, or monster effect, you discard the corresponding card to negate the activation and destroy. However, with Ariadne, you don't pay discard costs, so it is essentially a free Solemn Judgment. Very strong. You do still can play it without Ariadne, but it's pretty much the weakest of the lot without Ariadne because it's so specific.
I like the artwork on it though.
Very nice artwork. I just think because this is a TCG exclusive, it's probably why this deck has had success over here compared to in Japan.
Yeah.
Also means our boy Finn won't have to worry about this at Worlds because TCG exclusives.
Exactly. Barrier stun for Worlds, mate.
Barrier stun for Worlds. 2 Curse Seal.
Oh, I hate this because it's Gemini Fusion.
This some decks in Scrub League just have to scoop when this resolves on specific spells.
What's the best spell to hit? That's like a generic one.
The best generic one to hit is probably Twin Twister. Once Twin Twister's gone, you just have free reign to take over the game. It's ridiculous. You do have to discard a spell if you don't have Ariadne, which generally you do have spells. I mean, it's not always dead without it, but it is a very specific cost, and most of your spells in this deck are high impact, so you don't want to pay the cost. But with Ariadne, it's done. Yeah. Silly card. Yeah, Gemini's lose if you activate this on Gemini Fusion.
Yeah, fuck this card. Alright, so play 2 only.
Play 2, in this card, only negate spells.
Only more specific spells, yeah.
Yep.
Just spells.
2 drastic drop off.
Yeah, this one is...
This is your anti-search and stops your opponent drawing outs.
Yep.
Whenever you're ahead in the game, this is just enough that if your opponent doesn't have an answer, they generally are going to need to draw the answer. So you choose it in your draw phase, get rid of it. Bountiful Artemis gives you cards, helps you dig deeper. It's just a general 1-for-1 trade, and this is what the deck wants. It just wants to trade 1-for-1 while generating resources with Duality, Demise, Artemis. Just get ahead, get better card quality.
So yeah, 2 draft 6.
2's fine. Could consider playing 3, but it's fine at 2. 1 Chaos Trap Hole.
Why this?
I wouldn't always play this, but right now a lot of the decks in the Scrub that are played in Scrub League are light and dark. So we have Lunar Lights, Raid Raptors, Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, carry on.
Yeah, Raid Raptors, Lunar Lights, Blue Eyes. Oh, battery.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of decks do play light and dark monsters. Very good. Also, lightning is a problem. This gates lightning. It's very nice. And they're not going to get it back with everyone.
Yeah.
1 time.
Yep.
Warning. Play it. Best trap in the game. I want to play more, but I can't.
Free.
It's free. When it costs nothing, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then finally, 1 Judgment of Anubis. This deck's bane is Twin Twisters.
Anti-Twin Twister, that card, yeah?
Yeah, when your opponent activates a respective spell card, which will destroy a spell or trap card on your side of the field, you negate their activation and effect, and then destroy 1 monster they control, and then they take its full attack as burn damage. It doesn't target.
That's legit. It's free as well if you go around it.
It's free. I mean, also, it's only generic discard 1, so unlike the other counter traps, which are very dependent on Ariadne, this is just a pitch one. It's nice and fine. This has been live after Demise, that Ariadne, because we can draw off drastic drop-off and stuff, so it's pretty good. Yeah, only play 1. It's just a nice narrow out because we don't... The meta game in Scrub isn't quite as narrow as the actual meta, so we have to play more generic cards.
Right, extra deck.
Okay, extra deck.
Do you go to extra deck that often though in this deck?
Not too often, but it's just a free set of extra cards that you can make when you need to. Break Sword.
Okay.
Good generic out. Rank 3 Scrap Dragon. Make it with the Banishers or the Eccentrics.
Yeah.
Just a nice way to deal with problem cards.
Yeah.
Also, you can pop your own Ariadne, which is nice.
Get a search as well, innit?
Get a search. Yep. Grand Pulse. Nice high stats. Good defense. MST. Easy to make. We only have 4 level 3 monsters, but it does come up on occasion. Samurai. This deck struggles to close games. So, nice rank 4, gets 3800 damage through on an empty board, which generally, when this deck goes to its extra deck, it's generally when it's pushing for game after resolving Raigeki. So, just get through. Also, the effect, secondary effect, change yourself to defense to redirect an attack. Pretty good. Can help protect Artemises or Banishers or whatever. Decent. Castel.
Castel.
Yes. Get rid of shit. Continue playing.
Do it.
Dark Rebellion Dragon. Get over big things.
Like Blue Eyes cards.
Like Blue Eyes.
Yes.
This deck hates Blue Eyes. This gets over Blue Eyes.
Yes.
Run it.
You want a game after this against Blue
Yes.
Eyes? Okay.
The Beast Dweller.
Yes.
Still a good rank 4.
Yep.
We don't get the boost, unfortunately, but still stops graveyard effect. Good enough. Does what it needs to do. Always run this if you've got the space. Emerald. Recycle Altemis. Recycle Fossil Dino.
That is true, yeah.
Also recycles Banisher, which is nice. Our monsters in this deck are generally very high impact, so we always want to keep them going. And there isn't many times when you'll need to use this, but especially against other grindy decks, you are going to need to recycle them eventually.
Yeah.
Giant Hand. More effect negation.
Yeah.
You can never have enough effect negation. Play it. Cowboy. Cowboy for game.
You won a game with this, didn't you?
Yep, won a game off making Cowboy.
Yeah.
Also, gets over nice large monsters, crashes through anything 3k or higher, well, with 3k or lower, and then runs over most things. But generally, you just want a battle game. Utopias. We play 2 because we want to make more lightnings.
And you got a lot of room, don't you?
We have a lot of room in this extra deck, so lightning is probably the best rank 4 at closing out the game right now. So
yeah.
It just helps us get there. Then, we play 1 Ray 1 Prime as our secondary materials for Utopia.
Yeah.
We generally I've never used this effect. I don't even know what it does.
You're low in life points, you do some shit, I believe. It goes to 3-5.
It's okay. It's generally inferior to lightning, so
yeah.
Prime, however, we do, like, especially in games where we don't see Ariadne early, we do have the opportunity to use this effect where we pay down to 10 life. The potential is it there for it to come up, and it just banishes all our specials on my monsters and it gives you a clear path for game.
Okay.
Then, finally, the reason that we run 2 Utopia, double lightning.
Yeah.
Yep, this card ends games, deals with almost anything on the field. However, we found a problem. Monsters that can't be destroyed by a battle laugh.
Yeah.
Especially since Ray started playing Cubics. The main monster can't be destroyed by battle.
V-Jam.
Yes, V-Jam laughs at lightning, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, very good card. Gladly we can play in Scrub League, which is nice. But
alright, so that's the extra deck. Commit 6 rooms for this.
6 slots just for the Utopia lineup, but we don't really need that much space. We have all our problem solving cards in there.
Alright, so that's the Counter Fairy Scrub League version deck profile. Any suggestions for any future cards this deck will get, or do you think this deck will get hit by the ban list soon? Or I think there's going to be a ban list in August anyway at the Worlds.
Yeah, based on previous ban list trends, since we've not had one before Worlds, we're generally going to get it just
after Worlds.
Just after, so yeah. Expecting a ban list around December. Depending on Worlds may influence the ban list, but as it stands, I don't see anything in this deck getting hit.
Oh really? Not even Demise?
Not in this build. I don't think Demise will get hit.
Okay. So, any new support though, you think? I don't think there's a new Counter Fairy.
I don't think there's any. I mean,
the deck's already good enough, isn't it?
Joe Doyle was playing.
Luckily, we've had good counter traps, like very specific ones that could help in the side deck. Like, there's no siding in Scrub, so it's not really a decision, but especially against the meta, if you play, obviously, decide to play against Metastar, play Luster and stuff, just generally update the build. You have the decks only going to get better as we get more and more counter traps.
Metamorphosis.
Yeah, Metamorphosis. I mean, you can play a Metamorphosis Bavarian probably just to proc your Ariadnes.
Yeah.
You just keep getting more card filter and card draw. And just because Fusion's still good, even in a deck that's playing Demise and Duality. Because at the end of the day, you can just pop it and shuffle it back in and draw again.
Yeah. Alright, so that's the Counter Fairy deck profile by Lewis for Scrub League build. So yeah, thanks for that.
No problem.
Hopefully that helped you guys building a deck. Cheers.